cold front come through last night. It's supposed to be the coldest day since last year. So instead of sitting at home on the couch watching YouTube, I thought might as well go make a video. So I've just got a camera in the bush here that was in here last year, same time. Had some big stags on it. Then they just disappeared. So I'm just gonna go in and see if they're on the camera again this year. And have a little poke around on a little warm face. Seems as though there's plenty of snow around. It's just cracking daylight and I've got about an hour to get in to where the camera is. So we'll see how we go. Alright, I picked up the camera. Nothing really exciting sign-wise on the ground, or I flicked through the videos, only had 34 videos from 5 weeks out. Most of them are dogs. Did catch one velvety, not a real big one, and a hind by the look of it, a couple of times. So I've pulled the camera out. Sort of a bit over this spot anyway. But anyway, I'll roll some of those videos off the trail camera. Check these out. if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, you couldn't do me any bigger favour than by hitting that button before you go. If you haven't watched any of the other videos, jump over on the channel, Zebra's Sambar Hunting Adventures. Check out the channel. I'm sure you'll find something there that you'll enjoy. So I've got the lower Tibets on their 3rd year now. I reckon this is their last season. The tread's actually just about worn out on them. But I've got these Stormfront Sitka gear Gore-Tex gaiters, and they're fully waterproof up to here. So when you're in this sort of wet, tussocky snow and walking through wet grass, so long as it's below the gaiter, it's like wearing a gumboot. So they're awesome for that. So I'm really happy with my lower boots. I've given them a fair flogging and they've stood up to it. Now, they haven't lasted as long as my Meandles, but the reason for that is these are more supple in the sole. Whereas the Meandle had a steel shank and it didn't flex. If it doesn't flex, it can't wear out. Whereas these flex just that little bit more, which gives you a bit better feel, and that's where they wear out. They wear out on that flex point. So you got to accept, wear and tear on boots that are carrying backpacks and side cutting hills and walking on rocks and rivers. So everything else about the boot, all the leather, all the stitchings, all stayed together. All the rand around the outside that protects the edge of the boot to the sole, that's all stayed together. So I highly recommend lower boots. I run the Tibets. I know mates that run the Rangers. A little bit softer boot again. So go into H&S Firearms in Sale. That's my local shop. If you're in Gippsland, drop in. If you're coming from Melbourne and you're going up the high country, drop in and say good day to the guys in there. They're all really helpful. Moved to Sitka a couple of years ago, nearly 3 years ago now, and love it. It's some of the best gear out there, I think. It is pricey, but you get what you pay for. For me, being tall, they've got tall sizes, and that's the game changer for me, is the fact that my arms, the sleeves are long enough to go to my wrists and the pants are long enough to tuck over my boots. Whereas if I buy Stony Creek or Hunt Tech or whatever, they're just not long enough. And, you have to go too wide in the waist or too big a size in the chest to get that length, and it's just not ideal for a skinny bugger like me. So all my Sitka gear comes from safarisupplies.co.nz in, obviously, New Zealand. Grant's the man to talk to there. If you go on that website, you'll see a little bubble appear down in the bottom, I think it's bottom right hand corner, where it's like, ask me a question. And the first time I was looking at it, I was like, oh yeah, I'll put a question in there. And I reckon he answered within a minute. So that was pretty cool. Really helpful. Really good return policy. So I've been thinking about merchandise. So maybe I haven't done it yet, but getting a logo made up from for Zebra's Sambar Hunting Adventures, and maybe getting some blaze orange caps with my logo on it. Just let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in supporting the channel by buying a bit of that gear.